Enough said. This is overview of the crypto as implemented in the MIFARE attacks. We purposely omit many details from this slide. This is the first public announcement that the crypto cipher, the crypto 1 cipher on the MIFARE attack is known, and we will give out further details at some point next year. So if you do rely on MIFARE security for anything, start migrating. At the core of the cipher, we have a 48-bit 48-bit shift register where in every clock all the bits are shifted to the right, and then a linear combination of bits, an XOR, is shifted at the first bit position, a pseudo-random number generator. At the same time, a binary function with high degree generates a key stream, 1 bit at a time out of this. To initialize this to a known state between the reader and the tag, random numbers are used, both from the reading device, so that the reader has some kind of random number generator, and also an external random number is used. That is combined with the secret key, the tag ID, to get all the crypto properties that you need to make a stream cipher secure against replay attacks. I'll, for the rest of the talk, only talk about some weaknesses that we found. I won't go into further detail here, but as I said, more to be expected later next year. First thing we looked at is the random number generator, and we couldn't believe that. It's a 16-bit random number generator. These numbers are blown up to 32 bits, but they have a 16-bit seed, so there's only 65,000 different ones. If you had looked at enough transactions, you'd probably have noticed that too. If that's not weak enough yet, the value of the random number that is generated, the value depends only on the time between powering up the tag and challenging it. And from what I said earlier, we have complete control over the timing. So we were able to make the tag generate the same random number again and again and again in every transaction. One might maybe start arguing that on an RFID tag with all these constraints, you'd have to sacrifice something like the randomness of the numbers. We saw the same behavior on the reader. The reading device also implements a random number generator that we can generate the same number over and over and over again. So we have a crypto protocol where all the randomness is controlled by us, by the attacker, which completely breaks the security. Depending on the application, that might still be okay. Controlling the timing would require it to be in the car to break the car, in which case you don't want to break it anymore. So some applications might still be okay with this, but this is cryptographically a major flaw. I didn't want to give out the exact details of this random number generator, but I figured since it's a linear feedback shift registers, people would probably go to Wikipedia and just look it up, what it is and what it could be, and oh, there it is. That's the Well, I'm not sure who copied from whom. Besides the random number generator, there are other weaknesses in the cipher. We didn't find anything nonlinear in the whole system, which means if you have one state of this register, you can, as intended, go forward steps, but you can also go backwards. So if you break any of it at any point, see weak bits, you can go back to the session key and even go back to the master key. Major weakness too. We see this binary function have some cryptographic weaknesses, which which suggests to us we haven't actually tried attacking it through this avenue. A key finding attack that would run in sub-exponential time. But maybe we don't even have to go there. Why not just do brute force? This isn't actually a system that we implemented. This is from a similar project at Johns Hopkins where they broke a related product. But we did start implementing Decipher. Decipher is meant to be small, extremely small enough to fit on an RFID tag. So we can fit many of those on an FPGA. And we estimate that with our implementation, it can certainly be improved upon. We'd need 1 week to break a key on a $100 device, or 1 day on a $700 device, or an hour on a $17,000 device. And if you're in the business of, say, car theft, that might pay off quickly. Again, more of this to be expected next year. So in a nutshell, the MIFARE crypto is flawed in many ways, and its security is, as expected, not even close to anything what we would want for good application. For some small value transactions, this might still be okay. In particular, I'm thinking about privacy here, where an attacker really only gains a large enough advantage from a large number of transactions, and if breaking each of those costs you a few cents, maybe the attack is broken. But for pretty much anything else, this shouldn't be used. What we learned from this project is that obscurity, well, what we see again from this project is that obscurity doesn't actually add any security. If anything, it hurts you in the long run, because once it is leaked, weaknesses are discovered that would before have been discovered in a peer review process, at least I believe so. We saw several weaknesses that can be fixed really easily without any cost overhead. The random number generator, for example, just by using a different type of flip-flop that is already found on the tag and other places, you could improve the randomness a lot. So obscurity for security, again, doesn't work. We are left with the question, though, what crypto can be implemented on RFID tags, and from knowing that nothing that we have so far, even block ciphers that are very small, hash functions, too big still, can't be implemented. We're really left with the question, where can we sacrifice some cryptographic properties to make it fit on an RFID tag? And that really will be left open for a while, I believe, but will need to be solved before these RFID systems are deployed in all these various applications and will replace passwords, PINs, and biometrics. Well, I was much faster than I expected, but I'd say we take a few questions now, and then Henrik will talk about some juicy details of what we actually did. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, what hardware did you use to make the photographies of the chip?
Starbuck, do you want to answer that? Can we get a microphone here?
It was a normal 500 magnification microscope, an optical one.
Yeah, and to take the slices?
To the slices. We use a polisher with 0.04 micron polishing paste. Okay. So normally, so it's really straightforward. So normally you can use a 0.3 micron polishing foil. You can you will find on each optical lab to polish fiber connectors. So you can do it at home if you have a microscope around 500 magnification.
And how much does all the photography cost?
What?
How much did taking all the photo cost?
I don't understand you, sorry.
What was your budget for taking the photographies?
I guess you can get a 500 magnification microscope for around 1,000 euros at eBay.
Okay.
So it's really, you can do it in your kitchen if you want.
Yeah, okay.
But you do see the dimensions in which we work, right? This is a scale of 10 micro, so this is less than a micron apart. You have to polish really, really softly. More questions? Can we get a microphone here?
I read somewhere that the crypto was based on triple DES. Do you have any idea where that rumor came from?
The MyFair family of tags goes beyond what we looked at. There's successors of this Crypto 1 tag or MyFair Classic that implements triple DES, yes. And Philips will probably help you migrate away from this to their own product.
That's a common mix-up that I read often when I Google for Crypto 1, that some guys pretend or say that it was based on triple DES. They are obviously mixing it up with the DESFire cards that are the successors to these cards and have proper triple DES implemented in them. Well, it passes. Allegedly, you can use a standard triple DES implementation on the host side, so it should pass the standard tests and should work as well as any other triple DES implementation.
These tags, after all, are 10 years old. At least the first ones were built 10 years ago. So the VLSI technology has scaled tremendously to allow for more and more crypto. But to answer the question of the origin of this, we haven't found anything even close to this by design. This is a stream cipher used in a challenge response protocol. There's nothing similar out there. So it's a completely self-engineered Philips thing. There's a question far in the back.
Yeah, the question here in front is about first.
Is the random number generator only on the host? Is it not on? It's not actually on the RFID itself.
It is on the RFID itself. You want to have two sources of randomness, so that either party could be an attacker and it would still have some randomness. So there's a random number generator on both sides.
So they've both got the same thing, and they're exchanging mutually.
They the one I've shown, the one on Wikipedia, that is only on the tag. But the weakness that you can control the random number through timing, that you'll find on both sides, yes.
Excellent, thank you. I'm looking forward to free tube fairs next year.
Well, get an open PCD, get involved in that. I'm sure we can give you the firmware that allows to get the same random numbers.
A question in the back and then in the front.
So for controlling the timing, what's the resolution in time that you can measure?
What is the resolution to break the random number generator?
Or what's the possible resolution in time that you can simulate? Like, how precise is the timing?
I will talk about that later, but the random number generator is clocked with one clock every 9.44 microseconds. That's the bit clock of the ISO 14443. And I think we can measure with about 10 nanosecond resolution. We have a logic analyzer, I will talk about that later. And for generation of signals, our precision should be below 1 microsecond. I had some problems with that lately, but I think I can be in the area of about 500 nanoseconds.
That's fucking awesome.
Well, it would be better if I was below 100 nanoseconds. I'm not quite there yet. Question here in the front.
I have another question. When these type of cards are used for like passage systems or for the subway ticket fare or something, do they use unique keys per card, or is it global keys for all of the cards?
Interesting question. We'll have to find that out when we are able to break the keys.
If they're deployed well, then they would use several. They would use different keys for different cards.
There is a trade-off here because the Philips Reader IC has an internal storage for about up to 32 keys, which can't be read out, which is not quite secure memory, but secure enough. So you can store up to 33 keys in the reader IC and then use these keys.